Imagine a vault. A fortress within a fortress, buried deep beneath the bustling streets of Antwerp, Belgium. This isn't just any vault, this is the impregnable heart of the world's diamond trade. Protected by a dizzying array of cutting-edge security systems, magnetic fields, seismic sensors, heat detectors, Doppler radar, a reinforced steel door weighing 3 tons, and guards patrolling its perimeter. For decades, it was considered unbreachable. Until one audacious weekend in February 2003, when a team of master thieves walked in, bypassed every single one of those layers, and vanished with over $100 million in diamonds, leaving behind only an empty void and a question that still echoes today: how could this possibly have happened? This is the story of the Antwerp Diamond Heist, a crime so meticulously planned, so flawlessly executed, it reads more like a Hollywood script than reality. For centuries, Antwerp has been the undisputed capital of the global diamond industry. 80% of the world's rough diamonds and 50% of its cut diamonds pass through this relatively small Belgian city. At its core stands the Antwerp World Diamond Center, and just across the street, the Diamond Center building, housing the vault of the Antwerp Diamond Exchange. It was here, on the second floor, that the seemingly impenetrable vault guarded billions of dollars in precious gems. Security was paramount, not just at the vault itself, but throughout the entire diamond district, a heavily surveilled zone where police patrols were constant, and every suspicious face was noted. To pull off a heist here would require not just skill, but an intimate, almost forensic understanding of the very systems designed to prevent it. Enter Leonardo Notarbartolo, a man whose name would soon become synonymous with this impossible crime. Not a hardened criminal in the traditional sense, Notarbartolo was a charismatic Italian jewel thief with a history of smaller-scale heists. But for Antwerp, he had a vision far grander than anything he'd attempted before. For years, he had operated a seemingly legitimate diamond business in Antwerp, renting a small office within the very Diamond Center building that housed the vault. This gave him unparalleled access, a perfect cover, and invaluable time. He spent years observing, documenting, and methodically studying every detail of the building's infrastructure, the vault's defenses, the staff's routines, and the rhythm of the diamond district. He wasn't just planning a robbery, he was reverse engineering a fortress. Notarbartolo assembled a team of specialists, each a master in their own dark craft. There was the monster, a strong man capable of handling heavy equipment. The genius, an electronics expert tasked with disabling the labyrinthine alarm systems. Speedy, a locksmith whose nimble fingers could pick almost any lock. And the king of keys, an unknown master of deception who could duplicate seemingly impossible key designs. Together, they formed a crew as precise and specialized as any surgical team. Their plan was audacious, relying on patience, meticulous preparation, and exploiting the human element of trust. Notarbartolo's years of presence and his seemingly innocuous business had dulled the senses of those around him, allowing him to plant miniature cameras, learn alarm codes, and even swap out a security camera's actual lens for a dummy one without suspicion. The stage was set. The moment arrived on Friday, February 14, 2003. A holiday weekend, which meant fewer people and less scrutiny. Over 3 days, the team worked. Their first obstacle was the building itself. Notarbartolo had already prepared by disabling key cameras and learning entry codes. They bypassed the initial security layers, then faced the notorious vault door. This wasn't just a lock and key, it was a complex mechanism with a multi-layered locking system. But Notarbartolo's team had a custom-made, foot-long key, meticulously crafted over months from molds taken during his previous visits. This key alone wouldn't open it, they still needed to solve the internal locking mechanisms, which Speedy and the King of Keys expertly manipulated. Once inside the vault anteroom, they encountered the next challenge: the motion sensors, heat detectors, and seismic sensors, all designed to trip an alarm at the slightest disturbance. The genius proved his worth, covering the sensors with mylar and polystyrene insulation, effectively blinding them without triggering any alerts. It was a risky, nerve-wracking process, performed in absolute darkness to avoid visible light sensors. The final barrier was the individual safety deposit boxes, 123 of them. Each box required a key, but the thieves were prepared. They used a custom-made drill, not to force open the boxes, but to penetrate their sides and peer inside with a borescope, identifying which ones contained the most valuable diamonds. Then, using specialized tools, they gently pried open the chosen boxes, removing an astonishing array of loose diamonds, jewelry, gold, and other precious stones. They left behind a carefully selected number of boxes, untouched, to make it appear that a random, less sophisticated robbery had occurred, hoping to mislead investigators. By Sunday night, their mission was complete. They had emptied 109 of the 160 safe deposit boxes, meticulously removing every trace of their presence, and slipped away into the night, leaving the vault completely undisturbed, its alarms still silent. Monday morning, February 17th, brought the inevitable. A diamond dealer arrived to check on his merchandise and discovered the horror. The vault, the impenetrable vault, stood open, its contents gone. The initial shock quickly turned to outrage and disbelief. How could this have happened? There were no forced entries, no alarms triggered, no signs of a struggle. It was as if the diamonds had simply vanished into thin air. The investigation began immediately, but with few clues. It seemed the thieves had pulled off the perfect crime. However, even the most brilliant plans can be undone by the simplest of human errors. Less than 24 hours after the discovery, a critical mistake by Notarbartolo himself provided the first real lead. While driving away from Antwerp, he impulsively stopped in a secluded forest to discard a plastic bag containing remnants from the heist, some empty money bags, a partial security camera recording tape, and a crucial, partially eaten sandwich. An observant local landowner, who happened to be hunting that day, noticed the strange bag and, intrigued, decided to check its contents. Recognizing the importance of what he found, he immediately contacted the police. The sandwich proved to be Notarbartolo's undoing. DNA analysis from a bite mark led straight to him. The discarded camera tape, though heavily damaged, also contained enough data to link back to the surveillance system Notarbartolo had infiltrated. Within days, Leonardo Notarbartolo was arrested at his home in Italy. Under interrogation, he initially denied everything. But faced with overwhelming evidence, he eventually broke, not confessing fully, but offering a convoluted story. He claimed he was hired by a Jewish diamond merchant to simply document the vault's security flaws and had only taken a small portion of the diamonds as part of an insurance fraud scheme, implying the real loot was far less than reported, and the actual masterminds remained at large. He suggested the heist was worth closer to $20 million, not $100 million, and that the real diamonds were spirited away by someone else. Investigators, however, dismissed his claims as an elaborate smokescreen designed to reduce his sentence and confuse the case. Notarbartolo, along with members of his crew, were eventually convicted and sentenced to prison terms. But the real mystery endures: the diamonds themselves. Despite exhaustive searches and global efforts, the vast majority of the stolen gems have never been recovered. Notarbartolo maintained his innocence regarding the diamonds' whereabouts, claiming he couldn't reveal anything that might endanger his family. The legend grew, fueled by the sheer audacity of the crime and the frustrating lack of resolution. The Antwerp Diamond Heist left an indelible mark on the world of high-stakes crime. It exposed vulnerabilities in what was considered the most secure vault on Earth, forcing a complete overhaul of security protocols in the Diamond District and similar high-value storage facilities worldwide. It became a cautionary tale, a testament to human ingenuity and the unwavering drive to outsmart even the most sophisticated systems. More than 2 decades later, it remains one of the largest and most captivating heists in history, a perfectly executed plan undone by a single, careless bite. The missing diamonds continue to spark speculation, their glittering phantoms still haunting the streets of Antwerp and the annals of criminal legend. What do you think? Was Notarbartolo telling the truth about an even larger conspiracy, or was his story just another layer of deception from a master con artist? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this journey into the world of high-stakes crime fascinating, please give this video a like, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories of the world's greatest mysteries and untold events. Your support helps us bring these incredible narratives to life. Thanks for watching.